Our department was created in 2008 to enhance the city's focus on street design and right-of-way management. We are committed to promoting the safest, most efficient, cost-effective, and sustainable roadway, bikeway, walkway, and transit system for our community. As Austin continues to be one of the fastest growing cities in our country, our team is growing as well and adapting to ensure that we serve the needs of Austinites and visitors for generations to come. We begin by discussing how equity plays a role in everything we do.
In collaboration with our Equity Action Team, I will be managing projects and teams in the implementation of diversity, equity, and inclusion strategies. I will help our department's Equity Action Plan and move it forward to develop strategies and steps to outreach into the community to ensure that we are using an equity and inclusion lens. As part of my charge, I will work with the Austin Equity Office, community groups, stakeholders, to ensure that we're meeting the needs of our community so that we can be more inclusive as a city. Together, we will be working to apply an equity lens to the work that we do as a department to better serve the city of Austin.
In the next few minutes, we will show you how each division of ATD works together to serve our community. What better way to do that than creating a road from scratch? The first step in designing a roadway is determining its need. That is managed by our Systems Development Division.
We have a small team overseeing transportation planning and project development. The planning work we do is long range in nature, planning what transportation looks like 20 years into the future. And the project development work is the short range steps needed to implement the city's transportation plan, the Austin Strategic Mobility Plan. Our team is also responsible for regional environmental planning, conducting community engagement focused on equity, and implementing special projects in the ASMP, such as updating the Transportation Criteria Manual. Our project development program takes high-level projects in the ASMP and starts to advance them through the early engineering phases.
After the plans are developed, our department has to finalize engineering the roadway. That's where the team within our Transportation Engineering Division comes into play.
Under the authority of the city traffic engineer, TED is almost always the first stop for a majority of inquiries from outside of ATD. This includes residences, council offices, other city departments, and partner agencies. So if you think of it this way, TED serves as the face of ATD. We work with other divisions, departments, agencies, neighborhood groups, school campuses, and a variety of technical advisory groups to inform, review, and develop collaborative solutions to multimodal transportation challenges. And there's even more. We deliver projects from beginning to end in the areas of Vision Zero, transit enhancement, speed management, roadway grants, and other small-scale mobility and safety improvements that enhance the built environment.
Designing a safe transportation network is a top priority for Austin Transportation. Our Vision Zero program identifies our top priority locations and works toward our ambitious community goal of zero traffic-related fatalities or serious injuries on our roadways.
Our team performs analysis of crash data to find insights that lead to prioritizing a department's work for safety-related improvements. We also look at the data through an equity lens to try and reduce the racial disparities we see in the data, as well as look for opportunities to coordinate and achieve other policy goals in our city. Safety improvements occur across our department, from signal timing and marked crosswalks to enforcing no vehicle parking in signed bicycle lanes.
Working hand in hand with our planners and engineers is a team that's critical to Austin achieving its mobility goal of having more people walking, biking, and using transit. And that's our Active Transportation and Street Design Division.
Our role is to design and deliver multimodal street design projects with a focus on making it safer for people walking, biking, taking micro-mobility devices, and getting to and from transit. Our division focuses on three key areas. First of all, we are a street design group that designs and delivers multimodal street design projects in service to safer and better connections for people walking and biking and getting to transit. We also support design review for work across the city and the region with a focus on getting good multimodal outcomes out of all of our capital investments. And thirdly, we support the planning and policy consultation around multimodal infrastructure and support our planners and other colleagues throughout the city in the planning and application of city policy around multimodal design. At any given time, we'll have upwards of 150 projects in active development, installation, construction, or celebration, including what you see here, a two-way bikeway, as well as pedestrian crossings, transit stops, and generally ways to make streets more complete, multimodal, safer, and more comfortable for everyone.
In a fast-growing city like ours, it's not always easy to predict where the next big development might take shape. When we can, and where we can, we try to coordinate our projects with new construction. The Transportation Development Services Division reviews the impact new developments have on our street network and other travel modes to make sure that development is paying its fair share in the process.
When new development is proposed within the City of Austin, our division reviews the transportation items of those applications for compliance with the Land Development Code, the Transportation Criteria Manual, and the Austin Strategic Mobility Plan. We also examine the impacts those new developments will have on the transportation system and require those developments to reduce or mitigate their impacts. In December 2020, City Council passed ordinances to implement a street impact fee to help fund needed transportation infrastructure across Austin. Based on the type of development and the intensity of the proposed development, applicants are required to pay a fee to ATD for the construction of those transportation improvements. The Transportation Development Services Division is responsible for implementing the street impact fee and will work with other ATD divisions to move transportation projects from concept to reality.
Both our Transportation Development Services and Engineering divisions work together to help design and develop striping plans. To make sure that all users know how to use our roadway system in a safe and efficient manner, signs and markings is central to that effort.
We install new and maintain existing sign and marking assets for the entire City of Austin. Those are everything from the centerline stripe on Congress Avenue to crosswalks and stop signs in your neighborhood. And just to give you a quick snapshot, with the help of contractors, our staff have the responsibility to maintain over 120,000 signs, 6,400 crosswalks, 900 miles of long line markings, and countless RPMs, delineators, turtle bumps, green pads, and many, many other signs and markings assets throughout the city. And in our sign shop on Cameron Road, our staff hand make over 1,000 signs a month. Our work comes to us from ATD engineers and street designers, as well as from requests from citizens through 311.
Once we've decided on the signs and markings that need to go on our roadway, our Arterial Management Division takes a look at how we signal and operate the street network to make sure it's efficient and safe.
Welcome to our Mobility Management Center, or as we call it, our MMC. In many ways, the MMC is the cornerstone of our division. Staff here can communicate with 1,100 traffic signals and PHBs, as well as over 575 school zone beacons and many other devices we maintain. From here, we can monitor traffic conditions on the screens you see behind me, dispatch technicians, and adjust signal timing due to construction, incidents, or for any other reason. Of course, the MMC couldn't do any of this without dedicated support staff. Within AMD, we have multiple groups working together to make sure the division is successful. These include engineers, inspectors, technicians, and other office staff. In addition to constructing signals, our technicians respond to 311 calls 24 hours a day, investigate citizen concerns, and perform both routine and preventative maintenance. Our comm team manages over 250 miles of fiber optic cable, which allows the MMC to communicate with traffic signals and the 600 plus traffic cameras located throughout the city. Our design engineers and inspectors ensure our infrastructure is designed and constructed correctly. We can't forget the signal timing engineers who program the signals. Every year they retime 1/3 of our signals to help reduce delays associated with the rapid growth in our city.
It's important to note that Austin Transportation is an enterprise department. That means that we are primarily supported through fees, voter-approved bonds, and parking revenue. Our Parking Enterprise Division team actually manages our on-street parking and a whole lot more.
The Parking Enterprise Division manages city curb space, parking facilities, and hired mobility services to balance the needs for residents, businesses, and visitors to our city, while promoting compliance with all pertinent city ordinances and regulations. Under our umbrella includes mobility, parking, and enforcement services, and mobility demand management. Our mobility services team authorizes ride-for-hire services, pedicab and chauffeur licenses, residential parking permits, and evaluates new parking options that are interested in servicing Austin. Parking Services installs and maintains existing on-street parking systems as well as promotes programs and partnerships that reduce economic barriers for low-income employees. Our affordable parking program is a prime example of that, which allows downtown employees to park in participating garages at a significantly reduced rate. Our enforcement services team enforces local and state regulations related to parking permitted uses and for-hire transportation services. That includes issuing citations and managing permitted activities for booting companies. And finally, our mobility demand management team authorizes various uses of curb space, including shared use transportation and curb access. This includes creating and managing commercial loading zones and identifying areas where vehicle turnover is vital to access for local businesses.
New transportation technology is entering the marketplace almost daily. The City of Austin takes pride in being a testing ground for many of these technologies by allowing companies to temporarily use our right-of-way to see how their products work in a real-world environment. Our Smart Mobility Office leads these partnerships.
Our team focuses on emerging mobility, placemaking, and transportation demand management. Innovation underlies everything that we do. We leverage public-private partnerships to test emerging mobility technologies like connected vehicles or intersection safety analytics in live, real-world environments. These tests offer a preview of the technology that may soon be on Austin streets. And in this way, the Smart Mobility Office helps ATD prepare to manage emerging mobility that's on the horizon. The placemaking program connects community, art, and function to allow people to gather in space. As an example, our Art Box initiative transforms traffic signal cabinets into pieces of art that represent the meaningful community expression of those who live, work, and travel nearby. The Transportation Demand Management Program aims to get people to consider more sustainable modes of transportation, such as walking, biking, carpooling, or public transit, rather than driving a car alone. The foundation of the Smart Mobility Office is built on education and behavioral change because both of these are vital to help people adopt new technology and better commuting habits as we move into the future.
Once a roadway is open, needs along it are never finished. There may be a block party that takes place, or construction that requires a temporary lane closure or detour. Those issues are handled by our right-of-way management division.
Our division provides planning and coordination for all activities in the right-of-way to protect existing infrastructure, minimize public inconvenience, and ensure public and worker safety during construction and other temporary uses of the public right-of-way.
Our permitting and project coordination team handles about 30,000 requests a year. Working in the right-of-way, or ROW, requires a permit. These permits cover work by our department and sister departments, utilities, private development, and special events. At any given time, more than 3,500 permits may be active.
Our traffic control plan review team ensures traffic control plans meet national, state, and local requirements and practices. They review about 3,000 plans a year and review for safety and mobility needs.
The Utility Coordination Program provides information on utilities for project design to avoid utility conflicts and prevent utility hits. Both public and private utilities participate in the program, which handles about 700 cases a year.
Finally, the inspection and enforcement team ensures city code is followed by checking that work is permitted and has adhered to approved conditions. The team also addresses safety and mobility issues with a focus on protecting infrastructure from damage or unsafe conditions.
Some events require road closures that span several blocks, could attract large crowds, or require coordination with other departments within the City of Austin, or even other agencies within our region. That is why we created the Office of Special Events.
We are the Division of Transportation that issues special event permits within the right-of-way. Those range from small neighborhood block parties, to parades, to runs and races, as well as large events like ACL and South by Southwest. We work with event promoters to reduce impact on mobility during the event. This ensures a pleasant experience for both the citizens of Austin and the event participants. We coordinate our efforts with other city departments and outside entities like Austin Police, Fire, and EMS, or local and state agencies like CAP Metro and TxDOT. Coordination between the various entities requires months of pre-planning for a special event. Our team is part of the city's Austin Center for Events, or ACE. ACE is a group of city departments designed to review and permit special events.